Hey guys, it's the plant doctor here. On today's episode, what I want to do is show you how to propagate tea olive. So tea olive is a handsome evergreen shrub that'll get 15 to 20 feet tall if you don't prune it. You can keep it in that 6 to 10 foot range if you prune it. But what it's famous for is its fragrant flower in the fall. You'll get some fragrant flowers in the spring, but really this time of year in the fall, it's a very small white flower, but oh man, it smells so good. There could be one 2 or 3 houses down from you, and if the wind's blowing the right way, you're going to smell it. It's a great shrub. It's one of my favorites, and so we're going to look at how to propagate this today. So I went around earlier. I've got a bucket full of cuttings over here that I'm going to do, but I wanted to show you just one example of how to do this. So this cutting is probably 8-9 inches long, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 6 nodes on this. You can see there's 2 or 3 here. There's the 4th one. But what I want to do is count down 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes. All right, so 3 or 4 nodes. I'm really looking for maybe 4 to 6 inches of growth here that I'm going to propagate. On this particular one, I'm going to go down just below this 4th node right there. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to make a cut, and then what I want to do, I'm going to cut off these bottom leaves. I'm leaving part of the petiole on, if you can see that, to protect the bud. Okay, so we're going to cut those off. We're going to go up one more set of leaves. We're going to do the same thing again, and we're going to go one more again, just like this. And these last 2 leaves, I'm just going to fold them over, cut them in half. That's my cutting. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to wound the base of my cutting, so maybe 1 inch or so. I'm just going to whittle it down so if you can see that on the camera. I'm going to try to get it to focus just like that. Now the product we're using today is a product called Dip and Grow. That's the brochure that comes with it, and today we're mixing this at 10 parts water to 1 part solution. So I've got an empty container here. I don't know if you can see right there, it says 10x. There's a 5x, there's a 10x. So we're doing this in October, and these are semi-hardwood cuttings. So this is this summer's growth. They're starting to harden off, but they're not hardened off all the way. And the recommendation on Dip and Grow for a semi-hardwood cutting is 10 parts water to 1 part Dip and Grow. So your Dip and Grow is going to come in a little packet like that. All right, there's not a whole lot in it, but you can literally do thousands of cuttings out of that 1 cup of solution right there. Now, the recommendation on the Dip and Grow is to wear PPE, and the PPE for this is just gloves. So you could probably get away with using a powdered rooting hormone. It's not near as concentrated as this. Since this is so concentrated, they recommend wearing gloves. And so I'm going to put my gloves on here so that I don't drip it on my fingers. And so here's our solution. And we're going to take our cutting and put it in there for about 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. And we are going to stick our cutting, and that's it. Now the media that I'm using for this is coarse sand. I'm going to pull some sand out and try to get it in my hand so you can see this. Okay, that's the media that we're using right there, that coarse sand. I used this last year this time of year and had really good results. As a matter of fact, just off screen right here, I have one that I just bumped up into a 3 gallon. I rooted this. So this time last year, this looked just like that. And so what am I going to do with my cutting to get it to look like this in a year? We're going to take our cuttings and we're going to fill up this Rubbermaid full of cuttings. Okay, so notice this is a clear Rubbermaid container. And so what we'll do is we'll fill up several of these 6-pack cells with sand. We'll do our cuttings, and then I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the Rubbermaid. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. I'll get the camera turned around and we'll go from there. Okay, so I went ahead and did this 6-pack. I'm going to fill this up later. I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys what we're going to do with this. So I have my bottle of Daconil here. So Daconil is a fungicide product that you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot or your local retail garden center. You can get it online. Amazon probably has it. But you mix it up like 1 ounce to the gallon. And I just keep some in a spray bottle. And what I'm going to do, this is just a fungicide. I'm just going to wet this down. Just like that. And once this is filled up, what we'll do is put the lid on. Okay, and what we've done, we've created a mini greenhouse. You can see down in there. Just imagine that being full of cuttings. Now, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to put this on the north side of my house in some shade. You do not want this in direct sun because it'll burn up. You want indirect sunlight, and we're just going to keep them in there all winter. So it's October, probably in March I'll pull them out and they'll be rooted enough to where I can put them in a 1 gallon pot. And then by the end of the year, this time next year, they'll look like that. Okay, so this is a 1 gallon that I just bumped up into a 3. If I pull on it a little bit, see right there, I just put that into a 3 gallon pot. It was busting out of the 1 gallon. So you can go from cutting to 1 gallon in a year and be ready to bump into a 3. Just a few more comments I want to add about your Rubbermaid container. It's imperative to make sure you maintain humidity in your Rubbermaid all winter. So check on it like once a week. You'll want to see some condensation on the sidewalls, some condensation on the leaf blades of the plant. And then like maybe once a week, when you go check it, take the lid off, let it breathe for 30 minutes or so, get some fresh air in there, and then put the lid back on. That way you're not overloading your container, if it is an airtight container, with oxygen, because photosynthesis is still going on in that plant. It's using up CO2, and you don't want to have the lid on so long that all the CO2 gets used up and the plant's releasing oxygen back into the container and there's no more CO2 left. So open and close that lid maybe once a week. Just check on your cuttings, make sure they're staying moist, and you should have good success with rooting tea olive. Guys, thanks so much for watching The Plant Doctor. It means a lot to us here on the channel that you would take time to watch what we're doing here. If you're enjoying the educational content that we have here, do us a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends that like to garden, that like to propagate plants. Until next time, this is The Plant Doctor.